beware of spoilers. I am Adam. I am now awake. I am tired. And we are going to talk about the latest episode of The Flash. The Flash episode 8? 8-8? Or 8:8, maybe 8:9? Because there was the one with Excess and Impulse. Then there was the one with the guy accused of murder. I thought there was one between that. So this would be 9 then. Because, yeah, that makes sense. Season 8, episode 9. So let's dive on in. So here's the thing about this episode. This episode kind of breaks ground in a weird way, because over the course of the 8 seasons of this show, I don't think they've ever shown too many alternate places that are not in Central City. Like, looking at, like, I'm just doing a quick cursory think across all of the show. It's like, if it's not in a crossover where he's going to Star City, or he's going to National City, which is in the universe up until Crisis, or he's going to even like an event episode that they do within the show where he goes to Gorilla City, or he goes to or he goes to what's that other one? Gorilla City. There is the one where he goes to Earth 2. But he stays in Central City in that one. He doesn't leave Central. Well, I mean, Earth 2, he goes to Gorilla City in Earth 2. Does he go to Earth 37? I don't think he ever does. Where Gypsy and Preacher and HR are from. But, like, by and large, the show... Oh, and Earth X. But still, by and large, the show takes place within the confines of Central City. And that's because they film in Vancouver, and they have very limited budget. So I can't really go and explore too many other places and be like, and here's somewhere new, because that would cost money. Oh, in Gotham. He was in Gotham in one episode, but that was a Batwoman episode. Or an Arrow episode, I think. But, yeah, so with outside of the confines of his show, within the confines of his show, if it's not a big event, spectacular episode, he doesn't really leave Central City. Ever. Central City is kind of just, the only place he goes to. But in this episode, he doesn't go to Central City. Iris and Sue, who comes back, Sue Dearborn, and what's it called? What's the other one called? Allegra go to Coast City, which is kind of cool. It opens the world up a little bit, because it's like, and that's the thing too. It's like, even like Oliver leaves Star City, but that's to go to one of two other places. Either either the League of Assassins headquarters, which I'm forgetting the name of the fake place that's in, or to go to what's that other place? Or to go to the island named Purgatory, Lian Yu. But besides that, even Arrow is kind of self-contained within Star City. For Supergirl, you have like National City. Occasionally she'll go to Kandor, but even then, she doesn't really leave National City. And same goes for Superman and Lois at Metropolis, and that kind of thing. So it's that kind of thing that kind of makes this episode really unique, is that even across the entire Arrowverse, it's people are going somewhere different, and they're devoting an entire episode to being somewhere that is not where they usually are. And it's pretty cool they did that. And I think that was a pretty interesting idea. I think the idea of juxtaposing two different Phantom killers is a cool idea. Whereas the Phantom in Coast City, and there's also the serial killer that Barry and Chester are tracking in in Central City. That's a pretty cool idea. And it's interesting to see them kind of, do them at the same time. I think that the issue with the killer is that, look, you can do this thing with, it's feeding on the sorrow, it's feeding on the, all of that. I think that the only, and even then, it's was the bartender really sad? Where it's all of a sudden now we're finding out she had emotional turmoil. Looking at, that kind of thing, it's that's just kind of, not silly per se, but it feels kind of tacked on, in a dumb way. I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's there are probably one of two people who it is for viewers who are looking at it and being okay, I think I know what this, that's the thing. At this point, we know Robbie Amell's coming back, and Rick Cosnett could still come back again, for, to reprise his role once again as the, what's it called? To once again reprise his role as, what the fuck is going on over here? Once again reprise his role, something weird going on. Eddie. So, to sit here and be who could the killer be? It's it's gonna be one of those two people. I can say that with a reasonable degree of certainty. Because both of them are coming back. It's the last season. I still stand by, I think this season's villain's gonna end up being Cobalt Blue. So I think we're gonna get to the point where there's gonna be, timeline's been fucked with enough where there's no reason that Eddie stays dead and doesn't get speed powers. I don't know, I'm just looking at this whole situation and being it's building towards something, and I think part of it is, too, it's if you look at, because we know who the guest stars are going to be later on this season, I don't think it necessarily matters. And I think part of it is, too, it's is Stein coming back? That's the big thing that tells you that maybe it's not Ronnie as, Ronnie. Because if it was Ronnie as, as Firestorm, I think you'd have to have Stein come back, too. And Victor Garber, I have not heard, is reprising. If Victor Garber is not reprising, then it's not Firestorm. Because that was the big thing in Season 2, when they brought in Deathstorm. It's, I've tuned that old man out a long time ago. So he doesn't even see, what's his name? He doesn't even see, Stein anymore, hear Stein anymore. So if Stein's not coming back, then that's what we're dealing with here. I don't know, it feels kind of tacked on. I mean, look, I and again, I'm not entirely thrilled about where they've taken Frost. I think that, Frost as an anti-hero would have been better. And a true anti-hero, and not just I think that's part of the problem, is that we are taking the definition of anti-hero in the complete wrong way. An anti-hero is not a hero who's a dick. An anti-hero is a hero who is, dangerous. Who is, not falling into the conventional, definition of a hero, not because they're mean, or they're douchey, or they're dickish, or anything like that, but because they are, they kill, they do things like that. Their moral code lines up with the greater good, but it's not it's not that they're doing it the wrong way. So I guess that, there's really not too much more to talk about with this episode. I mean, I like that Allegra's getting a little bit more agency, and they're showing Allegra pitching things and actually getting what she wants, and showing she's got a little bit more authority and power. Which is good, it's just annoying. Chester's growing on me a little bit. Even though the dream bit and the fear over the fire, I think, is a little bit not great. But still, he's still growing on me as a character despite that. There's always going to be growing pains. when it comes to replacing two major cast members, or major cast members in general, with new ones. There was always going to be that. But it'd be interesting to see if Cisco comes back this season. Or Wells. Did Wells come back already? He did. He was in Crisis. Or not Crisis, he was in Armageddon. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out. So we'll wrap up there for today. We'll be back with The Contractor later today. I'm seeing that around 4 o'clock today. So until then, have a great rest of your week.